All right, we're live.
All right.
Or so they tell us. It's Friday, January 14th. We started. It's only 3 minutes late today. That's better than usual.
I'm a little more prompt, I guess.
Yeah. I think you were here right at 2. We just had some stuff we had to work through.
Yeah.
So, as we discussed, if you've seen the post, by the way, that Matt is not here today. He's down at the Dry Ice little convention, I guess.
Yeah.
Expo that they're doing, talking with a bunch of dry ice aficionados from across the country. So they're all down in Orlando or Orlando area anyway. Matt went down there to chat with them. So he thought now would be a good time to bring you in.
Stuck with me.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, hey, you need to interview Mike. We like Mike. We want to know more about Mike. But even before you were actually officially here, like, tell us more about this Mike guy.
All right.
As I mentioned in my email, especially all the ladies.
No, not even.
Both of the ladies in the Facebook group.
All two?
Yeah. Both of them like, tell us more about Mike. No. So that's what we're going to do today. So, and here's the way this works, Mike. So if you look over and I'm not looking at you, it looks like I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, it's because I'm not looking at you. I'm probably not paying attention because I'm working through all these questions. But we got a lot of good questions here. This is good.
Good.
And we got Michelle M. from Lady Lake.
Oh.
She wishes to remain anonymous, so I won't reveal her last name.
All right.
But she submitted a bunch of questions because every single time we interview someone new, she says, you didn't ask all these questions that people really want to know. So I have some questions for her.
Can I borrow your flatbed trailer? I think that was the most recent question. Maybe that's a different Michelle M.
No, I don't know. There's more than one. There's more than one here in Lady Lake. All right, so let's see here. I want to get to a couple of the... let's see what we got in the chat so far. Usually, our buddy Dan is checking in. Yep, there he is from Minnesota. Snowy Minnesota. Would love an Inside the Hex on Mike F. and his history and background. Really enjoying the content with him so far. Well, today's your lucky day, Dan. You don't have to go Inside the Hex. We're going to learn more about that today. Mike is the driving force, this is from James in the chat, to get Uncle Matty's rear in gear to knock out those projects he's had on his plate for years. That's true. Every time he'd come up with something, he'd be like, oh, well, we'll just wait till Mike gets here. Until Mike gets here.
Yep.
Did Mike lift and put an exhaust on his diesel truck as part of a requirement to be a new Florida resident? AFH wants to know.
That's not the first time I've heard that. No, I did it when I was in California.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. It's a California thing too.
There you go.
Yeah, it was my dad's truck. So Dad passed away like 3 years ago, and Mom was going to sell the truck. I said, no, you're not selling that. So I ended up with it, and I had to brodozer it out, I guess. No.
So what? Tell us. People care about the specs on the truck. So lean into the microphone.
All right. So it's that better.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a '99
F250
Super Duty 7.3, which is the best motor they ever made, diesel wise. So I put a 6-inch lift on it, method wheels, 35 by 1250. All terrains are on it. It's got a super lift on it, which isn't the greatest. It doesn't ride so well. It's great with weight in it. Not so good empty. But it looks good. The motor's been, I did a bunch of stuff to it. Turbo, injectors, regulated fuel return system. So it's, instead of 250 horse and about 500 foot-pounds, it's close to 1,000 foot-pounds now and about 425 horse. Runs good. Pulls Matty's new stacker trailer well.
Oh. Loaded, or have we had cars?
I haven't had it. No, it's 7,000 pounds empty. So we'll see what it does with another 7,000 in it. I figured that the trucks, the hitch I have it on now is rated for 16,000. So I think it'll be fine.
That's a lot. How many miles?
I'm not going to drag race it or anything.
How many miles on it?
It's right now just 200, but tranny has gone through, I don't know, 160. So it's pretty fresh. And the motor's fresh. I mean, when I pulled the valve covers and did the injectors, it looked like brand new inside. The compression's good, so I think it's good for another 200,000
at least.
At least it's a Ford.
Let's see. Joey wants to know if you found yourself the contractor grade wheelbarrow yet. If so, where in Florida did you find it?
I didn't find it. Well, at least locally, I don't know, within 50 square miles, I couldn't find one. So I left mine in California. I'm bummed that I did. I'm gonna get a Miller though. So the True Temper that I got, I was gonna put it in storage here. I ended up bringing it home just so it'd be out of Matt's way. And the more I use it, the more I miss my Miller. It's all right, but at least it won't rust. I did get the steel handles, so that's good.
All right, so let me ask a couple questions here. Michelle M. from Lady Lake asked this, and then a bunch of other people also want to know this.
Okay.
So tell the story about how you started following the channel and how you met Matt initially.
Oh, okay. Geez, I'm trying to think what I was doing. I think first saw the channel. I was going to buy an M3. That's what it was. And I was looking up exhausts, and Matt's had just got his F80, and so I was looking at that, and then I just started. Something about Matt, it just clicked with me. I don't know. We're a lot alike the way we think. So I really started watching all his videos from when he would just sit in the chair and talk about himself. And I don't know, it resonated with me. So I stuck with that, watching him. And then he had done a couple of videos where he was asking questions like, hey, email me. I think it was when he had Gmail. And he was asking questions, I don't know, something. So I was his answer guy. At least I thought I was. So I was throwing answers his way. And then he started emailing me back. And then one day I got this random call. Like, I think I'd given him my number on email. And he called me one day, and I was like, I don't recognize this number. And he's like, hey, this is Matt. I'm like, yeah. I was thinking my buddy Matt. He said, Matt Mormon. Oh, yeah. And then we started talking, and I don't know, I spent 45 minutes or so on the phone, and then just, I don't know, friendship started. Next thing I know, he's like, hey, you want to do something? I got cockamamie, he's cockamamie me schemes all the time. So he's calling me wanting to know if we want to come out and install some Prevost piping or do detailing or whatever we were doing back then. And so that's how it started.
So when would that have been?
Gosh, that would have been 5 years ago, 5.5, something like that. But he had his M3 was a 16 or 15, so yeah, at least 5.5 years. Whew. Yeah,
time flies.
Maybe 6. I don't know.
I'm searching the emails now.
We should have an anniversary. I should have marked that on the calendar so I can
It's
take
not
him
on
to dinner
calendar.
every time that rolls around.
Now, you mentioned the F80.
Yep.
M3. So someone asked about your car progression here. Would be interested to hear Mike's car progression, past and future, and what led him to OGs. We'll talk more about that later. But how about car
progression? Okay. Well, start my first car / it was a truck. My dad had a 79 Toyota SR5. Drove that to him from work. He was a firefighter. He drove that to him from work. It was his commuter. So I got my license. He says, you can buy my truck for me. Now, my dad was not a give you. I had to earn it. And I started working when I was 11. So he knew I had money saved up. So I bought that. It was I think $1,900. It was chocolate brown or root beer brown. It was not very attractive color. Tan interior. So I did a bunch of stuff to that. And drove that for a couple years, sold it to a friend of mine, and bought a 1985 Toyota 4-wheel drive, black, short box. Lifted it 14 inches. Had 44-inch tires on it. Did everything I could to the little motor. Yeah, geared it, 571 gears in it. Yeah, it was fun. I had that for a couple of years. Then bought a Toyota Supra, red one, target top, manual. Had that was a 90. And then I'm trying to think what was next. Then I got practical again, got a truck. So I bought another Toyota truck. I was a Toyota guy through and through back in the day. I still love Toyotas. I still have a Tundra that's almost 400,000 miles on it. Trevor drives that, my son now. So, pickup, then went back to, I'm trying to think, after that, I bought a Ford Dually. Bought a 4-wheel drive Dually. It was a 92. I bought that used. Had a 460 big block in it.
So you went from a Supra to a Dually?
No, I went Supra to Toyota pickup.
Toyota.
And then Toyota pickup to Dually. Of course, the Toyota wasn't big enough, and I just, I don't know. It's 4-wheel drive, crew cab, long bed, Dually.
It's a long truck.
It was a big truck. And it got about 9 miles to the gallon. So I put Banks exhaust on it, the Banks Trans Command, did some stuff to the motor, a few little minor things. Owned that for a while. And what was next? Then I bought a, what was next? Oh, then I was buying a house. So I sold the Dually to put money down on the house. And then I bought a little crap box Mitsubishi Mighty Max pickup. That was that was my only truck. It was it was used, had 190,000 miles. It was someone's work truck. I think I bought it $1,500. It was a crap pile.
Dually to that.
It was, and I felt like I was on a suicide mission every day I would go to work. Like, someone's going to hit me, I'm going to die in this thing.
That's funny.
So anyway, I had that for not very long. And then I bought another Toyota. I bought a Toyota S Runner. 01 S Runner, which was their sport truck, right? So it was red, radiant red, I think it's called. Gray interiors, an extra cab, manual, V6, 2-wheel drive. So I did the TRD supercharger on it, TRD headers, Aquamist 2D water injection on it, 11 PSI pulley. So it was fun. That was a fun truck. I think I took it to the drag strip once and ran like a 13.5 in the quarter mile at 106.
Oh.
Which is pretty fast for a little pickup.
13.5. Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty good. So then went that to, what was next? I'm trying to think. It wasn't that long ago. Oh, I bought the Tundra because the truck got totaled. That's what it was. Some guy, so I was driving on the way home from work. Some guy pulls out from this development right in front of me. He wasn't even looking. He was on the phone. Back when there was no law against being on the cell phone. He pulls right in front of me, big four-wheel drive. I literally went right underneath the truck, caught the tire. The tire, my truck rolled up. I was looking at the sky. I'm looking at blue. I'm like, oh, gosh, this is not going to end well. Come back down, and the truck hit so hard it twisted the frame. So that went bye-bye, and I bought the '05 Tundra, which I still have. Like, Trevor drives that. So I dailied that. I was building swimming pools out of that truck, towing bobcats, going dirt bike riding with it, and it's never broken once. Knock on wood. Actually, it did. It lost a coil pack last week. One. And I replaced it, and they're still running great. So, then what? Tundra. Yeah, then I had the Tundra. Then I bought let's see. Had an '09 BMW 550i. That was my daily. I was going to retire the truck. It was going to sit in the driveway, right? So I started driving the Beamer. So I got that. Drove that for a couple years, sold that thing. It was okay. It was just too executive-y, grandpa-y for me, you know? It was quiet. It was nice to drive to work, but I just felt like it wasn't me. So, but I like the BMW. So that's where I got the BMW bug. I always liked M3s, but, you know, it was just like, I never had the disposable. I was raising 3 kids, was married, just didn't have the disposable to buy an M3. So anyway, I had that for a while. And then what? 550 went away. Bought a Focus ST, Performance Blue, another Ford. So far it's Fords, BMWs, one BMW and Toyotas. Yeah. So had the ST for a while. Did the Cobb Stage 3 on it, and it was a cool car. It was kind of farty though, and didn't make pleasant noise. I had MagnaFlow exhaust on it. It was cool, and front wheel drive's not my thing. I realized I didn't like the torque steer, so got rid of that. And then bought the M3. Now I've got the F80 M3, which I absolutely love. I know Matt had lots of unpleasant things to say about it, but it's a great car. And especially now that I got the exhaust fixed. I put the Active AutoWorks mid-pipe, the one that looks like I don't know if you've seen it, Chris. You're not really an M3 guy, but It's got this exhaust. It's called an equal-length exhaust. So it's the mid-pipe. Instead of the pipes being just parallel with each other, and the pulses of the exhaust, it's weird. The stock exhaust sounds like it's horrible. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like a crappy, like Vipers sound horrible too. So they fixed that with changing one length of the exhaust so that it comes out. Sounds like kind of like a 2JZ now, which is what a Supra had. And then I have what do I have? I have the Akrapovic rear section on it, and it sounds great. Waba, who's a big BMW guy, he says best sounding F80 I've ever heard. And that come from him. I'm like, okay, because I thought maybe it was just me. But anyway, so it's a great car. I've got HREs on it, carbon ceramics. It's a manual competition pack, Alpine white over black, full leather. So I love that. I'm not going to get rid of that car. That's my forever sedan. At least I say that now. I'm not as bad as Matt. I will say it, and I'll probably stick to it. But car progression wise, my next car.
What's next?
GT3 RS.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
I'll make you a good deal on one.
Yeah, well, you know what? We do it right now. He's gone today. Can we do it?
We'll talk.
I don't. You know that I'm not sure I can get over the. Maybe I can get over the lizard green seats.
Yeah,
I can change them out.
Yeah, easy.
I can sell them on an OG marketplace.
Get Matt to autograph them.
Oh, that'd be. Shoot, I could sell them for a premium then.
All right, we got a couple questions here, though.
All right.
I'm going to tell these people to go to email support at Obsessed Garage.
Was that too long-winded, by the way, on the car progression? I could go on and on.
Well, that when you're your age, you've had a few cars.
I've had a few cars. I skipped some. I skipped the family cars. Honda Odyssey, didn't talk about that. I'd like to forget that car. Transmission kept failing. It was horrible. Anyway.
So let's see. Chris in the chat says, hey guys, installing under cabinet lights in my home. I have 14 2 Romex ran to each cabinet, all going back to a dimmable switch. Any suggestions on what boxes, joiners, etc. will be needed to install? Yeah, I'd say email support at Obsessed Garage. They can help you out. Same thing with Austin. Any recommendations on lighting for a detail shop? 50 by 25, 16 feet in height to 14 feet doors. Yeah, email support at Obsessed Garage.
I really like the LS fixtures. The ones we just did next door.
Oh, yeah, the Cree.
They're great. Yeah, they're great.
Let's see. So, Martin, our buddy Martin, Alligator Window Tin, wants to know, are you going to take the F80 to BMW Invasion next month?
That is sort of the plan.
Or do you have
I'm
to
going to be
drive
hauling Matt's cars.
Yeah.
So if we make 2 trips, yes. I'll bring his both E92s in the stacker. Then I'll come back, maybe grab my car. And I don't know. I think his E36 is getting there some other way, he said. So I don't know what else he'd want to bring. Probably not bring any Porsches because it's a BMW event. So, yeah, maybe.
There you go. If not, I can drive. I'll drive it.
Yeah, I'm sure Trevor would volunteer too.
Let's see.
Probably come back with bald tires, though.
Let's see. Ooh, here's a good question from Alex. And a bunch of people have asked something similar here. So,
okay.
Mike F. seems to be a jack of all trades. Could you describe how he gained that experience and skills? So, like in terms of, did you do like a million different jobs in the past? Did you do one job? Were you doing a million different things?
It's probably more the one job doing a million different things. I started working, like I said, when I was 11. So my parents had a swimming pool business. So it was service, repairs. My dad actually built a couple pools. So I started that. In the summers, I would go out with this guy and we'd do the pool route. You know, I'd drive around with him and we'd test pools, clean pools. So I started doing that. But I think I've always been, I guess to me, it's inherited. My grandfathers were both mechanical. My dad was mechanical and into construction. You know, he did a lot of things. He was a firefighter by trade, but he always had some side gig going, which most firefighters do. My dad's dad, my mom's dad was very mechanical, typewriter repairman. So and back then, you know, in the 40s, 50s, that's a high tech job, you know. So he was really good at that. And then my dad's dad was a mechanic. He was a mechanic in the Air Force, Army. This is before the Air Force. So he was he was at Pearl Harbor with my grandmother when it was bombed, pregnant with my dad.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, my grandmother was hiding under the bed in the barracks. My grandfather was in a foxhole in the hangar. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I got lots of stories about that. My uncle, my dad's uncle, my great uncle, is that right? Is it great uncle? If your dad's uncle's your
great uncle or grand uncle?
Something like that, or whatever. Anyway, he was shot down in the war over the Burma Hump, flew cargo planes. Anyway, long story short, what was I talking about?
Talking about jobs, mechanical.
Yeah, so to me, I mean, I've always been interested in it. So early on, my dad just gave me free rein in the garage. I was doing building fences for the neighbors. I was like 14. You know, I was doing that, painting houses, doing lawn care, painting cars. I was painting cars and jet skis. My dad painted cars when he was younger. And it was kind of his side gig for a while. So we had all the guns. So I was painting cars, did a few of those, did some jet skis, and then decided I would always go out with him on jobs when he was installing hot tubs. So we did these wood, like teak and jar hot tubs, like ones with, you know, like a big barrel. So I would do that with him and just really got the bug, man. I just love to build, love to do things with my hands. So I started out, I got into electrical. So my dad's friend, John Hutchins, I don't even know if John's still alive anymore, but he was the electrician that my dad used to use. And I don't know, something appealed to me about doing electrical work. So started with an electrical contractor, did that for a number of years, and then went to electronics school. Went to this place. I don't even know if they're still in business anymore. Heald Institute of Technology. It was a electronics school that I went to back in the Bay Area in California. And then I worked for Bank of America for a couple of years, which is not at all construction related, right? I was doing mainframe stuff, moving cables and that. I hated it. It was night shift work. Absolutely hated it. I'm like, I can't do this corporate life stuff. So quit that, and I got a job with this company. It was in the Bay Area again. This company, we did stuff for oil refineries. So there was a guy that was there that was the quote unquote maintenance guy, and he'd been there for a number of years, and he wanted to get out. So I hired in thinking this is just going to be a stepping stone. It wasn't. I stayed there 30 years. So that's where I left to come here. So there I was doing everything. I was doing electrical, mechanical, hydraulic. I was doing remodels and adding on to the buildings, and I always had a side hustle. That's the thing, is I've always done side hustles. I love projects. So I was doing electrical work for a buddy of mine that had a contracting business. I would do all the electrical for him. So, and then he said, yeah, you want to help me out doing some construction? This is 20 years ago. So I started doing that. Before you know it, I was doing one while he was doing one. So we were both working. I was his employee on the side. So I got doing that, kitchen, bath remodels mainly. And then I swung around to start doing pools again. Got divorced 15 years ago and needed the extra money because you know how that is, Chris. You know as well.
I've heard.
Yeah, you've heard. Anyway, so I started building swimming pools. Did, 9 custom pools. Did concrete, did all the excavation, tied rebar, did plumbing, all the electrical. I didn't do the gunite nor the plaster or the tile. I subbed that out. That's a little beyond my scope. One guy's not going to do that. So anyway, did decks, pools. Yeah, man, I've done pretty much every trade, I think, at this point. I wouldn't say I'm a master of all of them, but I get by.
You know enough.
I know enough. I know enough. I've done some additions on houses, and I'd love to build my own house one day. I could get around that. I just don't know if I have the time. That's the problem.
Let's see. Well, a couple of people asked about, your most recent job before moving here. So that's the one you had for 30 years, right?
Yeah.
And you were, were you like plant manager?
I was plant maintenance superintendent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. It was, so mainly we had a big fabrication shop. It was like 15,000, 16,000 square feet. We had a machine shop that was equal to that. We had a plate shop, which cut out shapes out of plate, steel plate. So that was pantograph machines, they call them. And then we had a shop that built heat exchangers. So we had about 1,000 pieces of equipment that I was responsible for. So I was doing everything, man. Hydraulics, like I said, electrical, electronics, CNC repair, machine installations, foundations for machines. Some of the foundations are like 5-6 feet thick. So that was cool. It was a fun job, but it just we kept adding on. I was always doing infrastructure, like building out buildings and adding on electrical, and it was all like 483 phase, big heavy stuff, right? And then we got to a point where we grew big enough we couldn't grow anymore, and I kind of lost. It wasn't as fun anymore because I like projects, right? So it was just maintaining, and I had a couple guys that worked for me, and then I direct those guys, but did some cool. I wanted to do solar, the whole company. I wanted to do basically a megawatt system that would power our whole company, but they would never let me spend the money. But that would have been a fun project.
All right, we got a super chat here for $4.99.
So do I get that or Matt?
You split that with me. Well,
oh really?
Yeah.
All right. I can buy another drink at Chipotle.
That all goes straight to the Chipotle fund for Matt.
Okay. All right. Wait, what's that up to?
A couple $1 million.
Is it really?
No, Matt.
At least
someone over there has bought Chipotle every day since they've been here. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm a couple minutes behind.
Mm-hmm.
So Approved Garage wants to know, how did you get the F80 to not fart? So just real quick, what was your setup again?
So it's stock. I have the downpipes in it. Stock downpipes with cats. I did the Active Auto Works mid pipe, and I did the non-resonated. I should have clarified that. Non-resonated with the Acra rear section, Acropovic rear section, and it does not fart.
There you go. All right. Here's a good question you may appreciate from Soothe and Relax.
All right.
What is your go-to brake grease? Not for slide pins, just metal-to-metal contact points. Excuse me.
That's a loaded question.
Who knew a question about brake grease?
Well, I always use Amsoil synthetic grease, EP2. I use that on the slides and the pins. I've used that. It seems fine. I mean, they do make specific grease for that, but or Chevron EP2, non-synthetic.
CJ wants to know, this also came up from a couple people. Let's see, Jerry on Facebook asked about this as well. Will Mike F. be convincing Maddie to carry the Milwaukee pack-out storage cases? What does Mike think of them?
I'm working on it. I love them. I have them, and I love them. And I remember we just bought some.
We bought like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, and I got an extra one for Matt, right?
Okay.
He, of course, not my treat, but I ordered it for him. So yeah, we're gonna get into it for sure. I think he's interested. So don't you think? I mean, he seems interested.
They're mostly for. Explain to me and the lay people out there. What would I need them for? You would need them to haul if you're doing job work where you're going job to job to job, and you wanted to bring your tools with you and not having them all just laying around in the bed of your truck. You'd have a pack out for like your hand tools, right? Okay. That could be in the bottom base where it's heavy. Then you'd have another pack out and they all interlock, so you go from biggest to smallest to the top. So the bottom base looks like about the size of an ice chest. You put all your hand tools in there, your whatever you want. And then you've got another layer that could be your battery-powered stuff. Then another layer that could be, wire strippers and parts and pieces. And then you got another one that can go on top of that has like your screws and
wire nuts and all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
They're great. It's a great system. DeWalt sort of made something like that at one time. I don't know. I used to buy DeWalt. I haven't bought their stuff in a long time. Maybe they do now, but Milwaukee's far and away better.
Let's see. Yeah, the Kalos guys, when they were here working, they opened the back of their truck, and there's just like
all pack outs everywhere.
Man.
Yeah. No, they're great. They're the best.
Let's see here. Another question from Michelle M.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a good question. Also asked by another person here. What were some challenges that you faced picking up and moving across the country to start a brand new career?
Boy, logistically getting out here.
So yeah, just to tell people, you came from California, right?
Yeah. So I came from California. I was actually in Vacaville, which is like midway between Sacramento and San Francisco.
But it's not just you.
Not just me. So it's me, my fiance Maureen,
Mm-hmm.
Trevor, my son who works here now. He came ahead of me. I brought him out first trip. Right, we drove together in the tundra, towing a trailer with all his stuff on it. That was trip number 1. That was 2,881 miles. Exactly. Drove out here that time. Then I flew home.
Okay. So you dropped Trevor off with his
Dropped
stuff.
Trevor off, left the Tundra for him to drive with his stuff. Then I came out another time when we bought a house, we bought a farm, basically.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to use it as a farm. I just wanted the land. So we bought 10 acres with a nice, 1-story on it. And it's a guest house. So Maureen came with me, her parents. They're in their 90s. So they need to we need some oversight.
I met them. Very nice
people.
people.
Very nice. Very nice. So they're from, he's Irish, she's English, but they were born in Argentina. So they have their accents, but they speak fluent Spanish and English, of course. But so they're really cool people. They're amazing. So they live in the guest house, which is about 80 yards from the main house. It's like 1,000 square foot. It's perfect for them. So Maureen can oversee them. So they came with me, with us, I should say, trying to get my youngest out here maybe someday to go to college because California.
She's still out there?
She's still out there. Okay. But they, not to get political, but they won't let her go to college anymore because she hasn't gotten the poke.
Mm.
So Florida doesn't have that stipulation. So maybe. We'll see. My oldest lives in Illinois. She was a flight attendant for American Airlines. She got shipped to Chicago O'Hare because that's where she tried to get San Francisco, L.A., Chicago was her third choice. That's where they stuck her. So she's freezing her butt off now. She's coming out here Saturday. All my kids are coming out. We're doing our Christmas in January.
Very cool.
So anyway, so they came. I drove out a second time with all my stuff with a 24-foot enclosed trailer. 22,000 pounds. Oof. Truck and trailer. It's heavy. So drove that out from California here, unloaded, and then drove back home. But the guy I rented the trailer from, I'm renting it from. We just got talking. He's like, "Oh, you're a car guy?" Yeah. I got this Obsessed Garage shirt on. He hadn't heard of us, but obviously that's probably car related. He says, "Well, when you come back, would you be interested in bringing a car back?" It's like, "Yeah." He's, "I'll pay you." So okay. What kind of car? Well, McLaren. Oh, well, all right. So I went to Miami. I dropped off so we drove out here, dropped everything off. I drove with my cousin. We dropped everything off at the house that we had already closed escrow on. Went to Miami, picked up the McLaren. It was a 675. Or no, I'm sorry. It wasn't. I was hoping it was. No, it was a 650. Anyway, so it was a 650. Put that in the trailer and then drove back to California again, hauling this trailer back. So that was trip number 3 times across, right? Mm-hmm. Then the final time was all Maureen stuff and a little bit more of her parents' stuff. I drove out one last time the last 3 trips are in the Ford. So I almost had to do an oil change on the way back because I'd put so many miles on it. Anyway, so got that back here, and here we are.
So as far as Maureen and her parents, did it take a lot of convincing, or was it like, heck no, we're down?
No, so Maureen has family already in Florida. She has a lot of cousins here. So she'd come here all the time anyway. Mm-hmm. She has family in Jacksonville, Miami, and I can't remember. There's a town outside of Miami. It begins with a W. Weston? I think it's Weston. Does that sound right? Come on, Chris. You're a Florida guy. You're supposed to know these names.
Florida.
I think so. Anyway. So anyway, she was happy, and we were ready to get out of California. It's not conducive to financial freedom anymore there in California. They want all your money.
There you go. There's Weston.
There it is. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Man, never heard of it.
So I was happy to get out. I loved, there's great things about California. I'm not going to diss the state but the people running it have screwed it up royally. It's pretty bad now. And but Yosemite's great. Tahoe's great. There's lots of things to do. It's a beautiful state. But I was ready for a change. And I wanted to work with Matt. I mean, we do stuff anyway. I've been doing stuff for him for a number of years anyway, and he'd been threatening to hire me for a while. So here we are.
All right, so then that leads to this question. What are your first impressions of life in Florida? Is it what you thought it'd be? Is it different? Is it worse? Better? What's the deal?
No, it's I think it's better than I thought it would be. I like Ocala. You know, we looked at Winter Park initially because that's probably the closest thing to where Maureen used to live, because we hung out. It was Walnut Creek where she used to live, and I liked hanging out there. But yeah, so Winter Park seemed cool, but you know, we started looking to Ocala and never looked back, and we love it.
Yeah, it's a good spot. Mike lives 10 minutes from my house?
About there, yeah. I'm gonna come by one time.
Yeah, we'll bring your tools. We got a to-do list for you.
All right.
All this stuff my wife thinks I can do that I can't do.
Yeah, all right. We'll do it.
Let's see. Oh, here's a good question that I think you'll appreciate.
Okay.
Related to California, I've had this conversation with you. This is from AJ Shanks. Mike, how much more do you get for your money in Florida compared to California? What does that mean for you and your family?
Ooh, a lot more.
So talk about, we discussed the land.
Yeah, property-wise, you get a lot more. So what I have now, it's 10 acres, right? It's got the guest house and the main house on it, and it's got a fully enclosed barn, which is going to be my workshop and secondary garage. It's got a way oversized 3-car garage. It's got some outbuildings on it. That house, let's say near where I used to live, would be $5 million. And I didn't pay anywhere near that here. Nowhere near. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
You have a chapel on your property.
I do. Yes. So the people that built the property, they had to spend $2 million to build this place. They spent definitely more than I paid for it. They went crazy. It's got a horse arena, which I'm gonna make either dirt bike mini track, or RC off-road trucks. You know, and then so it's got that. It does have a chapel. I guess she was a devout Catholic, so it's kind of cool. I mean, you know, it was a little creepy when we got there first. She had it set up. It kind of was like old Gothic style inside, but Maureen's going to paint it white inside. It's kind of a weird, I don't know.
It's odd.
The decor is a little different for me. I don't know that we'll ever use it. Maureen might. She might do yoga in there.
Your fiance, is there a date set? I'm a notary. We can make this happen.
I'm trying to talk her into it. I talked her into getting engaged. Now I got to talk her into actually getting married.
You're the one trying to convince us.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know the story there. That's funny.
We'll see. I'm working on her. There's a big oak tree on the property with Spanish moss. I said we should get married under that oak tree. Yeah, it'd be cool.
Let's see. Oh, our very own Brad Bacon wants to know, hey, Chris, what's that really interesting and expensive-looking tool in front of you?
Oh,
yeah. Funny you should ask, Brad Bacon.
This is pretty cool.
That's the high torque tool, which we had ordered a while back. We finally got them in yesterday. Out of the 10 we got in, 8 are spoken for, so we still have 2 left. So you know more about this than I do. So what does this do exactly?
Oh, it's to torque the center locks, yeah. So this goes in between the spokes of the wheel, right?
Okay.
This is what it leverages off of, and then there's a socket that goes on, and then it just basically turns slowly to torque it to a proper spec. What's it, 440 foot-pounds? I forget what it is. Matt said it many times, but it's high. So this does it nice and slow and gently without any breaker bars or 4-foot cheaters. It's pretty cool. I mean, if you have a Porsche, you gotta have this.
It's all electric, so you just type something in here and hit the button and it goes.
Off camera, I'll have to find out what our cost is on it, because if I get a GT3, I'm getting one of these. Because I don't want to screw my
They're
wheels
expensive,
up.
I'll tell you that.
Well, I know that. Well, it's worth it, though.
Yeah.
If you can afford a GT3, I guess you can afford one of these.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We have somebody from, how do you say it, Vacaville?
That's where I was from.
Yeah, Craig S. says he's been there. It's a cow town.
It was, And look, I moved to a horse town, from cow town to horse town. And Vaca means horse. I mean cow.
Oh, yeah. And Johnny Coe says Vacaville here, 707. So I guess that's
that's it. There. That's it. That's where I was from.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, it was off of Peabody, Foxborough area. Over by the prison. You'd never know it was there, but there is one there.
Going back to DeWalt, John Bartlett says DeWalt has what's called the T-Stack.
Yeah, that's right.
Not as nice as the Pack.
No, it's not.
That's what they have.
No, I have the top of it where I put screws and stuff in that I have had for a number of years, but yeah, it's not as good.
All right, let's see.
Milwaukee's pretty much got everyone beat at this point. Makita's still pretty good, but if I had to take any one of them, it's Milwaukee, hands down.
Oh, Johnny is also trying to get out of California, maybe Texas or Florida.
Yeah, Texas is what do they say? It's turning purple.
Yeah, I don't think Texas wants the Californians.
No, they don't. They're getting a little butthurt. In fact, so this morning, I went to a machine shop because I was going to have something made for the stacker trailer, for the weight distribution hits I'm putting on it. And I go to this machine shop, and the guy's like, oh, we're talking. He says, told him what I'm doing. I had mentioned California, and he had this look on his face like, you're from California? I was like, don't worry. He says, okay, just as long as you're not one of those, screw up our state kind of guys. I said, no, I'm not. That's why I came here.
That's fun.
Anyway.
All right, David Peck says, I got my tracking information from my high torque tool. Can't wait to get it. I'm 60 years old. We track our GT3 RS a lot. Typically in a week, we'll change wheels 2 or 3 times. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
You definitely want it then, for sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
I can't imagine having to haul a 60-pound breaker bar and all that stuff there, and then trying to, because with torquing anything with a breaker bar, or not a breaker bar, but a torque wrench like that, especially click type, you don't get a good feel for it, especially that long, and you don't know if you're getting 440 foot-pounds or 500 or 380.
Got it.
Because if you bounce on it, it's not true. You got to be constant, even pressure to get a real good reading. So these are the way to go.
Let's see. Our buddy Mike from Canada says, hey, Mike and Chris, really enjoyed actually, your lift install series and your trips to Home Depot.
We had some good trips.
The Mike and Mike videos are becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, Wob is fantastic. That dude, he's like 24, but I swear I feel like I'm hanging out with a 35-year-old. Something about him,
Yeah, he's an 80-year-old tap.
He's awesome. Yeah, Mike's awesome. Yeah, we get along well.
Let's see.
And he's really good at what he does. I don't often. I probably don't give him enough props, but he's amazing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, today's video, because this always gets asked, today's video that I think it's coming out at 6 tonight is the final recap of the Atlanta Garage project that you guys did.
Yeah, I was wondering when that was going to come out.
Yeah, Waba spent a bunch of time on that. That's supposed to be pretty good. So let's see. Todd from Florida says, please don't try and talk more people into moving to Florida. We have enough transplants.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, but that's true. We do have a lot of people moving here.
Yeah, well, Idaho too, Tennessee, Texas. Yeah.
California's got a lot of people. They got a few to spare.
Yeah, it's out of hand.
Let's see. Chase T. Meyer wants to know, he's been here once or twice. Has there been a betting line established for the over-under for the new M3? He's putting 500 on the over, meaning how long Matt's going to keep it, I guess.
I think the new one, I think he'll keep it long term.
Well, that's what he said about his old one.
Yeah, but I found him that old one. I'm kind of partial to it.
I remember that, yeah. It was in California.
I found it down in Southern California. I flew down there and checked it out, and he bought it before I even left the dealership. So, yeah, I like that car. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there are too many 860 original mile E92s around.
With that spec that he likes most of.
Yeah.
Let's go back to your house for a second. Our friend Tony Palumbo up in Jacksonville area says, does Mike have a nice guest room at the new crib, and when can I come visit for a weekend?
I do have 3 guest rooms, Tony.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Tony, you're always welcome.
All right. Let's see. Hayden B. Schnell on Instagram says, hey, Mike, what's your favorite thing about being in Florida? It's one of my favorite places to escape during the harsh, dry winters here in Utah.
Favorite thing?
Yeah, just for all those people watching.
I would say the weather is obviously always. Everybody assumes, and it is. The weather's great. I mean, I always thought California weather was great because I have friends that are in like Pennsylvania. Like Troy lives in Pennsylvania. Brandon's in Ohio, and those poor guys are freezing their butts off. It's snowy, icy. There's salt on the roads, and I just think, man, California's great. We're so lucky. But recently, it was like 80 here, and I was looking at weather where I used to live. It was 42. Like, man, this is even better.
It gets hot in the summer.
Well, yeah, but it did get hot where I lived. It got 106, 108 in Vacaville. But it was drier heat, I guess.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
I don't mind the humidity though.
That's what Trevor said. I asked him once actually.
Yeah, it's fine. My skin doesn't get dry. It's nice. It feels like I'm kind of on vacation in the tropics.
We won't tell our friends up in Minnesota and who are getting snowed in today. It's like,
I know. I
70
feel bad
here
for people that
I think the high is 70 here today.
Yeah, today. And my daughter who lives in Illinois.
Chicago.
Yeah, she's outside of Chicago. She sent me this video the other day. It was like, I think with wind chill it was 5 below. Oof. And the snow wasn't even sticking. It was just blowing across the street. It looked like sand, like in a sandstorm. Ugh, that's miserable.
Ugh. That's the coldest I've ever been in my life was in Chicago, actually.
Yeah, it's freezing cold. I wish she would move out here. But her guy is a firefighter. They've got a house together, and he's got a really good job with Aurora Fire Department, and he's a fantastic guy. So
nice.
I'm pretty happy with that situation. I would love to get him to move out here. Told me he can come work for the Disney Fire Department. I think they pay pretty well, but it's like, no, I like my job here. So
let's see. Jack wants to know, hey, Mike.
Yep.
I'm excited to see you building things and adding value to the OG cause. Now that you're here at OG, what are you looking forward to the most? Do you have any new cars planned or new things to build? Like on your list of Maddie projects, what are you most excited about, do you think? It's a long list.
That's a long list. My list, I have 4 lists going right now. They're long. There's probably 100 things combined on all the lists. Well, I've been checking them off lately. The lift was a big one. Lighting was a big one. I just left Matt's house to come here. I was doing putting another power outlet in his garage in the ceiling for his new bike rack that we're going to start selling. The one that's cool. Wait till you guys see this. We're making a video. We made a video about it. So anyway, I just did that. I don't know, big projects I'm looking forward to. I don't know, probably building his house. I mean, obviously he's going to get a general contract to do it because I don't have the time to do the whole thing plus everything here. Manage a project like that, it's a big project. But that'll be fun. I don't know, we got all kinds of projects cooked up. It's just a long list.
All right. We have a couple people mentioned this. I don't know anything about this. You have
What's
to.
that?
We know all about work shoes and shorts that Matt wears. What's your workwear of choice? All Carhartt or some other brand? I guess I've seen your Carhartt hoodie.
Carhartt. Yeah. Carhartt. I've got Carhartt shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve. I don't wear the long sleeves very long.
People are wanting an OG pocket shirt for you. So
people keep mentioning it. It wouldn't be a bad idea. The material's a little thicker, These I feel like if I'm up in an attic and catch a nail, I'm going to tear it easily.
Oh yeah,
Carhartt would be cool. I wear Carhartt, Levi's. So I just bought Wranglers for the first time. Never owned a pair of Wranglers. I bought them at Walmart.
You're officially Floridian.
Matt's favorite store.
You bought Wranglers.
I bought Wranglers. I need to get some square-toed cowboy boots next, and a hat. Then I can fit in an Ocala proper, right?
Yeah, Ocala, for those of you who don't know, that's where I live. That's where Mike lives. It's horse country, like big time horse country.
Big time. I guess it rivals Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky now.
We call it the horse capital of the world, and that created a little stir with folks in Kentucky.
The Kentuckians are like, no, it's not. We're better. Well, so okay, then the guy built the $700 million World Equestrian Center, right? Put that in Florida. Yeah. So now that's like 9 miles from the house. Yeah. Great restaurant, by the way. Have you eaten at Stirrups?
I've not eaten at that one.
That's good.
No.
It's good. It's cool. I mean, I can't believe it's in Ocala. John Travolta lives in Ocala. You know that.
Yeah. He's got a fly-in neighborhood. He lives in
we were going to buy over there.
Oh, nice.
And then it was too far from town, so we decided not to. But I think he has a 707, right?
I don't know exactly what he has.
Well, I saw one flying over low off of over 200. It's got to be him. How many dudes are flying a 4-engine like commercial airliner into Ocala?
He's a super nice guy. He does anytime he has a movie, he'll do a premiere in Ocala at the Marion Theater downtown.
Oh, really?
And like a fundraiser, and it's pretty cool.
Poor guy's wife died recently.
Yeah, that's
sad.
Tough.
I can't imagine.
I think he really enjoys living here, though, and he people will always say hey to him and get pictures when he's out, but other than that,
I haven't seen him yet.
You'll see him at some point. You go to Target enough.
Do you know him? Can you hook me up?
No, I don't know him in that way, but I've
seen like Pulp Fiction. That was a great movie.
All right, let's see. TJB says, Mike, can the new lighting setup at OG with Vive accept an occupancy sensor?
Yes.
I never have to turn on my garage lights using a switch and can't imagine doing so again.
Yes, you can. In fact, there is one that works. It's wireless. We just installed it in Matt's garage. So yes, it can.
Excellent.
It programs just like the Pico remotes do.
Daily DIY dude. What did Mike do for a living before starting with OG? Rewind it a little bit later. Daily DIY dude. You'll figure that out. Cincinnati, Ohio, checking in here. In the garage, doing a rinseless wash as we speak. Yeah, it's pretty cold up there right now.
Yeah, I think that's a must there. Rinseless wash. You wouldn't be outside.
Kelvin wants to know, hey, Mike, do you have an Instagram account?
I do. NorCal_F80.
There you go. Richard L. knew it. He put it in the chat.
Everybody's been saying I should do mid-flow F80.
Yeah, you got to change it now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mike needs to wear jorts since he now resides in Florida. Do you have any jorts yet?
No, I do not. No, I guess someday. I don't know if I'm doing not so construction related stuff. I'll wear shorts.
There you go.
Yeah, but I feel better in jeans.
John Bryan adds in here about Ocala also having a fire truck factory. That's true. E1. I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
what you know about
yeah.
E1.
I did hear about that. Yeah, yeah.
It's a big deal. Manny went to Stirrups last weekend. Yep.
Yeah, he did.
That.
I saw some posts about that.
Yoshi, our buddy Yoshi, $10 super chat. How does Mike feel about the E92 M3 compared to the F80 M3? I know his daughter had one for a while, and he's been around Matt's now 2 cars.
Yeah, so I had them simultaneously in the garage, and I drove them both back to back. The E92 sounds better. The engine, obviously, it's amazing. But I think that's probably the only thing about it that beats an F80. F80 will spank it in every which way, except for sound. And they look good. I think they look great, but I think the F80 still looks better. And the F80 is a lot faster. It stops better. I don't know. The interior's better. It's a better car, but I don't know. I would love to have both. Actually, I wish I would have kept that car. I do like them a lot. I just think the F80. If I had to pick one, I'd pick an F80.
All right, Alex on Facebook says, Mike, you really increase the value of OG content with your how-to knowledge and training. Thanks for that. Can you talk about the decision-making and economics, we already kind of addressed some of this, that led you to pull the trigger and move and join OG?
Yeah, it was
just ready for a change.
Well, a lot of it was Matt. Working with somebody that working for somebody and wanting to help him build something that, at this point, I kind of feel like he's my brother. I love the guy. I mean, he's just such a great human being. I mean, people give him a bad time for being just saying what's on his mind, but he's just such a great human being. So I think that's probably what put me over the top. I love doing what I do. I love creating and doing projects and building things out. But I think working with him, I could have stayed where I was at and retired another 15 years and been done. And probably would have moved out of state anyway. Probably would have gone to Tennessee or Florida anyway. But now I don't really have any ambition to retire. We have a lot of fun together. And anyway, that's what pushed me over the top. So otherwise, it was just a move and trying to find a job. But I don't know, working with Matty, it's great. You probably can attest to that, right? We're gonna take this place. I mean, this company is. It's going places, and he's the smartest guy I know.
Let's see here. We have a suggestion for you from JC.
All right,
Duluth Trading Foreman pants.
Oh yeah,
stretchy and so comfortable.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen commercials for them. I thought about buying one. Just try them out. Maybe I should.
There you go. Oh, Trap Cracker had a good question. I missed this a minute ago. He brought it back up here.
That's Nick, isn't it?
Yeah. I think so.
I think that's Nick.
Happy birthday, Nick, by the way. Will there be a video series on Mike's barn and garage build on his property? I'd love to see the way he sets it up.
I would think the garage probably. The barn I'm already just about done with. It was avocado green, so I've already painted it gray, Harbor Gray, which I like that color. I'm doing Swiss tracks in it. I pulled up. It had that rubber matting they use for horses. It had that throughout. Yeah, that stuff. Those things weigh like 100 pounds each. Man, I had to drag like 30 of those outside. I was like, this is CrossFit.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did Swiss tracks and they're painting it. I'm going to do lighting next and then I'll be done. Paint the exterior, obviously, but I don't think anybody really wants to see that.
When we had the gym next door here, those mats were on the floor in there.
They're like an inch and a quarter thick.
They're no joke. We drug them all out, cleaned them all off.
Yeah.
Took them down to the new place, set them up down there.
They're miserable. I did it by myself.
That's terrible.
I'm like, this is crazy. Why I should have called Trevor and had him come help me.
Let's see.
Didn't want to bother him.
TJB wants to know thoughts on how to advise Matt on choosing a general contractor if you'd have any input for his house, or is that not a concern?
To advise on a general contractor, I mean, it's basically you got to talk to people he's already done work for. Is he prompt? Is attention to detail is the main thing for me. Promptness. Obviously, if a guy says he's going to be there, make sure he's there. Make sure his subs are in line. Make sure he's got a good handle with those guys, good relationship with them, because subs oftentimes they'll spread generals thin. They'll go do work for this guy and this guy, but you got to have somebody that has good relationship with them, and they'll do anything for them and be prompt about it, because otherwise jobs could just drag on forever. And then attention to detail is the main thing, I think, and reviews. Talk to people he's done work for.
Yeah, we've learned some valuable lessons on the building down the road when it comes to
Yeah,
that.
I've got to fix that. So I've got to go down. Actually, I've got to go down and get a certificate of occupancy because it's kind of been left undone. And I don't know if I got to fix some things or what yet, but I'm going to dive into that soon.
All right, Stephen Oliver says here in the chat, visited shortly before the new year and just wanted to sing high praise of the OG staff. I even got to meet Mike and Matt. Sorry I missed you. I even bought the 3XL hoodies, every 3XL and hoodie in sight. Customer for life. Excellent. Thanks, Steve.
Cool.
Tim Ortiz on Facebook says, what's the steam tool/gun that Matt has been using to remove the PPF on the M3? I'll look that up for you, Tim. It is the Dupre Tosca or Tosca steam cleaner.
It's a great machine.
There you go. $997 on sale on their website.
Yep.
We do not carry them in the store. I think Matt has looked into that, but no.
Yeah.
So Dupre, Dupray, Tosca. Michelle M. from Lady Lake has another good question here. What are some of the goods and bads of working for Matt?
Oh, I don't have any bads.
I
can tell that quickly. No, I think I was probably his first unofficial employee. So I've been doing stuff with him he was doing T-shirts, I think, when I first started doing stuff with him. So you'd think I'd find something bad by now.
Yeah.
No, I don't think, nothing. Best things?
Mm-hmm. Good things?
I don't know. Working with your friend is great. I mean, it's, we have a good time. I mean, I feel like when we're working, we're not working. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
This is stuff I enjoy to do. I enjoy doing projects like this, and then doing it with somebody that gets it, loves the finished product, loves to see the progression. It's fantastic. This is the job I probably was destined to do, honestly. Probably spent the last 35 years honing my skill sets to come work for Matt, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. Another question from Michelle. Where do you find your motivation and or energy? Is it coffee? Is it just waking up every day?
I only drink 1 cup of coffee, and I'm off of it now. Yeah, I don't drink coffee now. I've been off of it for a week and a half. I was getting heartburn. Couldn't figure out why. So anyway, motivation. Just that's how I'm wired. I'm wired much like Matt in that way. That's one of the things that resonated with me about Matt. He's always driven, and I kind of feel like he's more driven in the research aspect and finding things, and he's obsessed with it, obviously. So I'm obsessed with the doing. He finds the stuff. He likes doing it, likes being involved, and we both have our what did he say the other day? Between the two of us, we make a fantastic human being. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of, I'm just self-motivated. Love doing stuff.
Here's a good question for you from C-Mac in the chat. Are there any OG spec items that Mike wants to have added to the store that aren't necessarily detail related, like the Milwaukee pack out or something?
Yeah, the pack outs would be a big one. I think Matt carries most of the really good Milwaukee tools that I would have. I think I have every one that he sells almost. I don't think I have the jigsaw. I used his the other day because I have a corded one right now. I got to buy the jigsaw. It's great. But no, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that he should. Maybe there might be the smaller finish nailer I think he should get. But he's got a framing nailer I think he carries. Got the
extended magazine.
Yeah, got that. Yeah, he's pretty much got everything hammered. We talked about that on the phone though. I think we talked a few times about tools, and he was narrowing it down. I think he's got it pretty well dialed in.
All right, let's see here. Question for me, from Skull. Hey, Chris, are you ever going to do a video series other than the podcast? No. There's I did a vlog, a month or two ago, and that's on the Inside the Hex because it ended up being too long. It was like 2.5 hours.
I thought, I heard it was pretty long.
Yeah. So next time you need help falling asleep, Mike, just go to Inside the Hex, click on my video, boom.
Yeah. Oh, now that you mentioned that, Maureen went and where was she? She took her parents somewhere to get insurance. And I think I already told Matt this. This lady says, they got on the subject of where I work. And Matt says, she says, he works for Obsessed Garage. She says, Matt Moorman. She says, Matt, well, my husband and I watch his videos. He says his voice is so soothing. When I can't sleep, I put on one of his shows, one of his videos, and it puts me right to sleep. And it was a compliment. Yeah. He's got that monotone, soothing voice, I guess. So, anyway, kind of made her think of that. That's pretty funny.
There you go, Skull. If you want to see me, and actually, Brad just asked me if I do one next week, so maybe there'll be one if I can shorten it.
A vlog?
A vlog, yeah.
Yeah. He was asking me about that too.
Yeah, people are interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's cool. I like watching them.
I also did a tour video recently, an OG tour. Those are a little more humorous, witty sort of things.
Yeah, those are fun. My favorite one is the very first one you did, and the other favorite thing I had on those video was Michelle's very first run to Chick-fil-A with that music that they used. It just, I don't know what about it. I've watched it probably 20 times. It's pretty funny.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go back in the archives there, Skull, if you want to see that. But pretty good. How do you balance out being able to do everything and fix anything without taking on everyone else's to-do list?
Oh yeah, that's a tough one. I'll tell you, this is where being able to do things like this, it's as known as a blessing and a curse, right? I have a hard time saying no. So, but right now I think people just know that I'm doing my own house and working here. So people haven't been asking, but I'm willing to help anybody. As you know, I've always been good at that and like to do that. So it's hard to balance it right now. Having just when I get home from here, you know, I got a million things I want to do. I want to remodel my bathrooms. I want to paint my whole house inside and out. I want to redo the hardwood floors, refinish them, build out the barn. I want to paint the exterior. I've been doing yard work, 10 acres of yard work, fixing split rail fences, mowing 10 acres. But I bought a big ride mower, big zero turn.
Nice.
So that's fun. I get by there with my iced tea and my sombrero. Good to go.
Unsweetened iced tea.
Unsweetened iced tea.
Yeah, see, the good news is since you're new to town, like there's not a whole lot of people here who know you and are like, oh, Mike can do that. Mike can do that.
Yeah, I shouldn't make friends.
No.
Yeah, I should just stay like a hermit.
Fly under the radar.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's see. JC wants to know, what is Mike's knowledge on home performance issues, air sealing, ventilation, etc.? You know anything about that?
Well, I mean, ventilation. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about whole house fans, talking about AC. I don't know. I'm not sure what he means.
All right, JC, sorry about that. W. Ryan.
Sorry. Be more specific.
Do you know if Matt is going to do another moving vlog series? I would imagine so.
I would guess.
Moving again. More on that later. John wants to know, what are some of Mike's hobbies outside of fixing everything in sight? You still do the dirt bike thing, or?
Yeah, dirt bikes. I'm gonna go to Cal National Forest here soon. So I ride 450. I love doing that. Been doing that since I was a kid. Yeah. Miss the hills. That's the one thing I miss about California. We had lots of hills, lots of hill climbs. We had some great riding there. But I'm sure it'll be fun here. A little different terrain, sandy soil, no rocks,
lots of sand,
or fewer rocks, I should say. Yeah, that and cars and projects. I guess that's it's funny. I mean, like I genuinely enjoy doing remodels and stuff, especially for myself. So yeah, I like doing that stuff.
Obsessed Garage is chiming in the chat, telling me to keep my vlog under an hour. We'll see. I do a lot of interesting stuff. I can't help it.
Under an hour?
Yeah.
Well, who's putting that constraint on me?
Every video Matt does is over an hour. So
yeah,
it's rubbing off on me.
Okay.
Said what? His wife says the same thing about soothing voice Maddie. So
yeah, I think it's a thing.
Dylan says I also double as Matt's full-time bodyguard. That's true. I have to protect him from lots of people.
Yeah. You're intimidating.
Yeah. Let's see. Get you a.
And you know, there's many times like yesterday I was on a step stool thinking, gosh, I wish I was like a foot taller, like 6'8", no, I guess it'd be 8 inches taller.
What are you? How tall are you?
5'10". Okay. So you're 6'6", right? So that's another 8 inches plus arm length. I could probably install recessed cans without even getting a ladder. That'd be great.
Much like you, it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine.
Every time I get on the plane.
Can you reach that off the overhead bin there for me, there, Mr. Tall Guy?
All the old ladies at Publix, can you get that down off the top shelf?
I can imagine. Yeah.
Only if you tie my shoe for me after I do that.
It's a long way down to do that.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Now I'm spoiled since I have a king size bed. Anytime I sleep in anything under a king size bed.
Oh, your feet hang off?
Well, they've done that for a while, but it's just uncomfortable and my back hurts.
You're tall.
It's not fun.
It's tall. You're tall.
Let's see. Mike, this is from Steve Place in the chat. Mike, did you used to ride outside Patterson near the junction or more in the Sac Valley area?
Rode Stony Ford, Georgetown, French Creek, and Carnegie. So those are all up like Auburn area. Stony Ford's obviously, it's out 5. And then I rode Carnegie, which is out by Livermore, which is mostly hill climbs there. But yeah, that's mostly. I've been to Sand Mountain before, Pismo, but that was just once in a while. I don't really dig it that much. I like off-road riding, so enduro style riding. Stony Ford's great, but not that challenging. Georgetown's a lot of fun.
TPD Details, CR says, what's your favorite bike brand? Are you loyal?
Right now I'm a Honda guy. I'm CRF 450R. I love it. I thought about buying a KTM 300, get back into two-strokes. So I might do that. And then my son will inherit my 450. We had to sell his bike. He had a WR 250 Yamaha. And he's got an S2000. It's getting full repaint, and he needed to cash out so he could finish it. And when he gets here, he wants PPF it. So it is probably one of the cleanest, lower miles. It's not real low, but it's about 60,000 miles. It's a AP2 2009? No, 06. Sorry, 06 AP2. So anyway, cashed out on that, and he's putting it into the car. So he'll need a bike soon. So I might give me an excuse to buy one. Maureen, if you're listening, I will pay for it.
Maureen's not listening. She's got way better things. Nathan wants to know, how about what brand of riding gear do you use?
Right now, I have Alpine Star Tech 9 boots, Fox gear, and then I also have some MSR gear too. But right now I'm riding Fox gear.
Let's see. Ryan wants to know, do we know when the Cree lighting will be in the OG store? No.
I don't have an answer for that. That would be you.
Yeah, it took a while just to get what we have here. So getting it in bulk is a whole different story. So it'll be a little while, but we are happy to help you figure out what you need.
You won't be disappointed, that's for sure.
Email support at Obsessed Garage. They can put you in touch with the right person to figure that stuff out. Let's see. Where's the other one? Oh, here you go. This is a good question from Kyle in the chat. What are your top 3 specialized tools for home reno/DIY?
Compound miter slide saw. That would be a must-have. Probably, impact driver for sure. Milwaukee impact driver. And I like the M18. M12's cool, but I like to have extra power on hand. And I don't mind having heavy tools in my hand. And then probably Milwaukee cordless finish nailer. I'd say with that stuff,
you got those 3, you're good.
Yeah. Table saw. I mean, gosh, the list goes on though. I mean, I'm just trying to think top 3 what I use the most. That's probably what I use the most.
All right, C-Mac asked a good question. I'm going to rephrase it a little.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking about this custom install giveaway that we're doing, what would if you had your ultimate utopian vision of what it would look like? Would it be like some palatial estate in Idaho, or would you want to go to like some guy living in an apartment in Detroit, or do you want like a challenge? What are you thinking here if you could choose?
Oh, who is going to win?
Yeah. What would you look forward to, or do you want a challenge, or you just want?
I look forward to someone in Oahu winning, or Big Island, Hawaii, because I would love to see Matt on the beach. No,
you're
but
the only
seriously,
person.
yeah. I think Matt wouldn't mind going to Hawaii, although the flight would probably kill him. It's it's got to be 10 hours from here.
At least, yeah.
No, it's seriously, I guess I would like to have just somebody that really, really, really wants it and couldn't afford to pull the trigger right now on it. Maybe a younger guy that's just coming up, loves detailing, got his first house, doesn't have the money to pull the trigger on $3,000 system. That's probably what I would love. And as far as whether it's new house, old house, I don't care. It'd be cool.
How many of those have you done now? Let's see.
Not
Troy?
that many.
No, you weren't there at Troy's.
No, I did Troy's pre-plumb. I did the wire hookup for him, put the backing in, and then he and Matt cut the line on accident with a saw. I got a panic call from Troy. Mike, there's water spraying out of the wall. We just cut it. What do we do? I said, call a plumber, dude. I'm in California. Not much I could do, but shut the water off. How about that? Let's try that. Yeah, so I've done a couple for Matt. I did the garage giveaway.
Benwicki? Was there one?
Benwicki, I did his. Yeah, I did Ed Bullion's.
Atlanta Garage? No, that was...
no, that was a different one.
Yeah.
So that was easy. That wasn't really the whole system. But I have some ideas how we could probably take it to the next level. I mean, Prevost piping's cool, but I think we want to head the direction of at least giving the option of a stainless package, full stainless tubing, stainless wedge lock fittings. I think it'd look nice. It's going to be pricey though, because wedge lock fittings are not cheap, nor is stainless steel tubing's not that much. But Yeah, I've done my own. I uninstalled it and brought it here. So
Is it set up at your house yet?
not yet. I'm waiting until I do the whole garage. I'm one of those guys that I don't want to piecemeal it together. I want to get the house done. Then I'm going to just gut the garage and probably pull a bunch of drywall. I think the people before me, they put like wainscoting up in the front with beadboard. Mm-hmm. It's so janky. And then it's got 2-foot strip fixtures in there, fluorescent. There's barely enough light not to trip over what's on the floor. But it's big. It's a very big garage. It's big enough. It's got 8-foot doors, so I can fit my truck in there. If I didn't have the Thule rack on it, it would drive right in. So the doors are 8 foot. It's great size. It's extra deep. It's 26 feet deep and 3-car wide, plus it's extra wide on the sides. So it'll be fun to do. But yeah, I'm going to wait till I do it all together. I'll get everything set because I should order cabinets now because I know the lead time is up there. So I'll probably do that. Kyle and I can work together and get the layout going, and then I'll probably start ordering some stuff. But realistically, I probably won't touch the garage for a year. I bet you. I know it's sad to say because I'm doing everything else. I would love to do it, but I just don't think I'll have the time yet, and I want to do it full tilt. I might do a lift, recessed.
Okay. Yeah,
I know a guy that can do it.
Now you know how to do it, and how not to do it. Let's see. Out My Brain Box 360. What camera does Matt use for his videos? It depends. And what are you guys using right now for the podcast? One of our guys will chime in the chat.
A Canon EOS Canon C? What is that, a C?
C200 or I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, one of the guys know more about that than me.
Yeah.
I see Canon. That's what I see.
Let's see. Is OG still hiring? Yes. Tusks. We hired one person for tech support. We'll be starting soon, coming from Louisiana.
And we just hired Sean.
Yep, right. Sean just started January the 3rd or whatever that day was.
Yeah, so he's working with Kyle's team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we still have room for one more tech support right now. And we'll be hiring more throughout the year probably, but if you're interested in the current tech support opening, go to the careers page. Let's see. Oh, good. They answered them. Z1 for vlogs, C200 and C70 for main videos. Usually C200 for podcasts, but the C70 today. I feel like that's a
Is that
downgrade.
better or worse? Are we downgrading?
Yeah, I think we got...
I don't get the Maddie camera. I get the downgrade.
It's probably down there filming today at the dry
I get the budget one.
Yeah, we get the leftovers.
That's all right.
Let's see. We have...
We make it up elsewhere, Chris.
Yeah. With our charming personality.
That's it.
2 items that I wanted to mention, because this has now become a thing, actually. People ask me how many Ego... what are those things called? Stubby nozzles we've sold. So let me get that information. But we also have 2 price increases coming up that I wanted to let everyone know about, in case you're waiting to pull the trigger. Number 1, Comet is going up February the 1st.
So buy now.
If you're looking to get a Comet, I would recommend doing so before February the 1st, because it's going to go from, I think it's $602.99 to $642.99, so it's going up $40. Then we got an email yesterday. Dyn Audio is going to have an increase across the board starting February the 1st as well. So if you're waiting on either of those 2 things, February 1st is kind of your deadline, and then it's going to go up again.
It's a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, it's kind of going up across the board. It seems like every week. Yeah,
everything's going up.
Shipping also went up. I saw a discussion on that in the OG group. 7%, I think, was UPS told us. And DHL also had an increase across the board.
So my work boots, I bought a pair not even a year ago, and I just looked at, I was thinking about buying another pair. They've gone up $60 in a year. It's crazy. I don't know.
Stubby update. We have sold 1,019 so far. So the first shipment is supposed to be 1,000. So 19 of those people have to wait a little bit longer. But
I knew those are going to be popular.
Yeah, as soon as those come in, we will let you know. Lower bands, if you want to get one ahead of time, now you can do so. And all those people, I think, got an email asking if they wanted to do that. So I won't bother you with that. Do many customers order Sonic products? The products are definitely on my wish list. Yes, Dylan. We do sell a lot of Sonic products. Those are another thing, cabinets, by the way. If you're looking to order cabinets and you're on a time deadline kind of crunch, order now. Order today. Yesterday.
That's why I wasn't joking. I should probably think about ordering soon. Even if I'm a year out, I can store them. But because who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
As a frame of reference, we ordered cabinets for my office back on August 27th. On my birthday. That was a nice little birthday gift to me. new cabinets.
And you're important. You should get them early.
And we even put in there, and I joke with them every time I pay the invoices. I'm going to pay another invoice till you ship mine, but it doesn't work.
Huh.
But yeah, I still don't have them. And so that was August 27th. It's January the 14th.
So
you do the math there. It'll be 5 months before they're here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does the Ego Stubby work on all the Ego blowers? Jeremy, we just had a conversation about that today with the guy who's making the Stubby, actually.
What's the answer?
The latest one, the 747, I don't know the number, 7 something, he's not 100% sure on because he thinks it may be a little wider because of the outflow or whatever that word is, output. The 530, 580, 650, whatever. It works on all those.
Yeah.
If there's anything smaller than that, I don't know, to tell you the truth.
No, I don't think there is.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Any plans for new Press-All bottles? Skull wants to know. No, not right now. Right now, we're just trying to get the regular Press-All bottles and having a difficult time doing that. Where was it? Who was it asked about? Pedro. Who will be doing the RYS update this week? The Reserve Your Spot update? I don't know, Pedro. I think Brad was going to do that, actually. He was gathering all the information in my office earlier. So be on the lookout. But we are planning on sending out an email on that today, I think, is the plan. Let's see. All right, let me get to one more. I think Michelle M. from Lady Lake had one more question here. Oh, she asked about car detailing. If that was a big thing for you, or if it was just the F80 that kind of drew you in, or how does it come?
No, I've always been into it. My dad was into it. I mean, there wasn't anything out when I was a kid and he was washing cars. But I have a picture of myself that my mom gave me. I was probably 2. And I remember he used to buy this powdered soap. Powdered. It was powdered. I forget. It was a silver can. I think it was called Old Number. I don't know. I can't. I might be mixing that up. But I remember it was powdered white, and that was car soap. This is, this was in the 70s, right? When I was a little kid. And so I guess I grew up watching him wash cars. Back then there was like no products. And then he had a fireman friend that sold detailing products. He had tire dressing and interior cleaner. And I don't know. I guess that's what I kind of got into it. My dad always kept everything clean. I mean, I've got his 99 Ford 7.3, and the truck's 20 plus years old. He's never paint corrected it. He never did. He wasn't into that deep into it, but it's still in good shape because he always kept good care of it. Washed it well, waxed it with Colonite paste wax, every 6 months, and so I watched him do that. So yeah, I'm into detailing. Always have been. Love having clean cars. Can't stand when they're dirty. I enjoy the process. I used to wash in my old garage. I had it set up pretty well. So I had the Krenslin there and Swiss tracks and cabinets, the whole 9, good lighting. So and my garage fortunately sloped from the back to the front. So I could literally wash inside and the water would run out the garage. So I'd never have to wash outside in the driveway. So it was great. That's kind of my zen, and had a long day at work. I love just sitting in the garage washing cars.
All right, last question, then we'll call it a day here from Darth Beer on Instagram. Aside from any of Maddie's cars, if you could drive one car in the OG parking lot, which one would you choose? Aside from Maddie's? I like Manny's TTRS. Yeah, I like that. That was my daughter, Caroline. That was her favorite. Yeah, I like it. It's a cool car. It sounds great. Manny, if you're listening, I like the way your car sounds. And I Kyle's car's cool, too. And, they're all cool. Jeff's got a cool car. The Mustang sounds pretty rowdy. It's loud. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could probably pull that off. I'm a little too old for that loud a car. Trevor's S2000, when it gets here, that would be my number one. I've driven it, obviously, but I love his car. It's cool. There's nothing quite like the way his car shifts. He's got a short throw shifter. Honda's already got a great transmission, and he's got a short throw shifter. It literally, the throw is probably, I would say, from neutral to first gear is 3/4 of an inch. It's insane. It's a great car. But yeah, right now, what's in the parking lot right now probably Manny's car. There you go. Good question. All right, last couple of things here. Any update on timing for under cabinet lighting coming back in stock? No, Steve. It just kind of depends on the part and us getting them, but you can email support at Obsessed Garage. They can tell you the latest. And lastly here, soothe and relax. All you Florida guys and gals but hate living in the Northeast. Can't wash from November to March. I know. I couldn't get around that. And that's when your cars are the dirtiest. Yeah, and that's salt and yeah, the salt especially. And thinking your car's rotted out. My daughter's guy Ross, he's got a Chevy truck. It's got to be, I don't know, it's probably 7 years old, 8 years old. It's got holes through the bed, rusty holes. Now you see why Ford went to aluminum bodies, right? Because they don't have to worry about it now. But it's horrible. Here you go. This is Manny. Speaking of Manny in the chat here, This
Yeah, that's the stuff.
number 7.
That I was right. It was number 7.
Yeah, car and truck wash.
Yeah, that's it. That's the stuff. And they used to come in a silver, like a foil covered can, and the can was one of those cans you kind of break off, and it's got a cardboard top that sits on it with aluminum cap. Yeah, that's what he used.
There you go. You can get 4.5 pounds of it for $28.50.
And a chamois, a real chamois. And he used to tell me it was deer skin. I think it was like goat skin or something. But anyway, we used to use chamois. Yeah.
Interesting.
And we had
It's still around.
We had a 68 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser station wagon with genuine wallpaper wood paneling on the side. That was in back then. It was a huge car. It had a 400 cubic inch Oldsmobile motor in it. Got like 7 miles to the gallon. Yeah, it was like an all-day thing to wash that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
DuPont number 7 car wash was in a silver cylindrical carburetor.
That's what it was.
Huh. Manny says his dad used to use it too.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. It was a thing, man. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot out either. That using dish soap, I guess. I don't know. You would think Pops would know what to use. You know, it smelled. It didn't have much smell to it. I remember that.
Huh.
It was kind of blah. But the interior cleaner was using it. It smelled like candy. So maybe that's what got me hooked on detailing.
There you go.
Like our tire dressing. That stuff smells amazing.
Yeah, it does.
And doesn't it? Smells like you want to eat it.
All right, so thank you all.
Yep.
It's 3:18.
Hopefully I didn't bore everybody.
Appreciate. Look at all the people unsubscribing by the second.
Oh gosh, look at that. The numbers are just going up.
So thank you all. We appreciate you chiming in with questions. Hopefully you got to know a little bit more about Mike. There's lots of people asking about him. So that's
I'm
cool.
an open book.
Yeah, we're glad you're
Whatever
here.
you want to know.
And we will be back next week. It is going to be the 21st of January. I think Matt will be here next week, so we'll be back to normal next week. Thanks again, guys, and we will see you next time.
Yep, cool. Thanks.